Morning, gang. It's Tuesday, the 29th of October, 2019. Welcome to this morning's United Kingdom Talk, coming to you from the Chapel Hill Marina in Lincolnshire. Very parky out there this morning. Oh, my Lord. When I got to the caravan last night, as I was coming up here, I turned the heating on from my mobile phone. And it was like 4 degrees outside. Oh, my God, it was cold. But inside, lovely and toasty. I'm so pleased I spent the money on that heating, actually. I'm really pleased about that. Those of you that won prizes and various bits and pieces, they were posted off yesterday, straight after the show. One to Essex, all right? That was the person who won the bingo actually didn't want the hat. Okay, they decided to have a fridge magnet instead, which is perfectly all right. That can work that way. So I sent a fridge magnet to them, which means we've still got 9 hats to win for the bingo. Yes. Have you not played the bingo yet? Well, that's on Sunday night at 8 o'clock, only on this channel, boys and girls, on youtube.com/Chris Reardon UK. All right, that's where you'll find our bingo each and every week where you're watching the show at the moment. And if you'd like to join in, you must register before Sunday, okay? When it gets to Sunday, too late, okay? Register before Sunday if you want to play the bingo to that email address. Chris, I'm very good with the captions this morning, aren't I? I'm hoping at one point to transfer from one scene to the other without actually hitting the wrong button, like I do sometimes, which I just did then, as you saw. Okay, so if you want to register for the bingo and you want to play Sunday night, you must be with us live for that one, okay? Sunday night, 8 o'clock, just send me your email address and I'll add you to the system on Saturday. I can't do it until Saturday because I'm away from the Mirable Studios at the moment. And I'll add you in there on Saturday, and then I'll let you know that I've done it, okay? But I can't do that until Saturday. Someone said it was confused. Someone was confused last night about something. I think it was the raffle, actually. Someone's confused about the raffle. Now, let me just explain again how the raffle works. We have a raffle draw every Monday, okay? To join in the raffle, you need a raffle ticket. It's as simple as that, okay? I give out the raffle tickets during each show, all right? So at some point today, or on today's show, I'll say, anyone want a raffle ticket? And you'll see people start asking for raffle tickets, okay? And I shall give you a raffle ticket and tell you what the number is and put it into there. You can claim 1 raffle ticket for every show that we do, and you can claim your ticket right up until we start the next show. Once we start the next show, it's too late. You can get a raffle ticket whether you're watching the show live, as in now, okay? When I say, anyone want a raffle ticket? You say, yes, please, I'll have mine now. And I'll read it out to you while I'm doing the show, okay? If you're watching a recording of the show, you can still join in with the raffle. Just email me a request, raffle ticket, please, with today's date. You must have today's date on that email. And I shall reply to your email with your raffle ticket number. And that's how it works. I hope that's fairly well explained for you. Some of you will probably be fed up with me explaining the same things over and over again. That's because we have new people joining us all the time. And they don't know, you see. So there's just a couple of little bits and pieces that are repetitive. I'm sure you understand that, won't you, by the way? So the prizes have been posted off. And, of course, the fridge magnet yesterday was won by our lad in Australia. So that's on its way to you. Yes, it's on its way. I don't know how long I'd be very interested to find out how long it takes to send a fridge magnet to Australia, because that's the first one we've sent out there. Funnily enough, although it's like twice the distance, it's about 10 pence more than sending it to America. Isn't that strange and mysterious? Very strange and mysterious, that was. Good. So that's gone off. The nice side, after that, I popped into Aldi, and it was quite busy in there yesterday morning, around about, what would that be, around about 11:45, something like that, 11:30, 11:45 in the morning. And there were big trolleys full of stuff. And all I had was 2 packets of blueberries. That's all I had. And the nice lady in front of me let me go first. How kind is that? I mean, how often does that not happen? So that was nice. I've done the same to people before, but I can't remember the last time I did a massive, when you do a massive shop, of course I'm on my own, so I wouldn't do like a family shop or something like that. But I remember, and I've been on my own for ages and ages and ages. I remember when I got my first flat in Wandsworth on my own, and I used to do a weekly shop, with a basket, trolley and all that. I don't do that anymore, ever. I really don't. Okay, sometimes I get a little bit more than other times, but I never need a great big trolley to push my stuff around in. I just tend to like pop it. Oh, I'll get some blueberries today. Oh, I'll get some washing up liquid and corn burgers or veggie burgers or something like that today. Oh, I'll go and get some. I'm a bit more like that rather than going in there once a week, you know, for my big shop. Does anyone else do that now? I noticed that they've done that now. Rather than doing your big shop all the time, you don't do it. I don't know. I mean, it's one of those things. A great karaoke last night. Really good. Thank you very much, those of you that turned up. Michael, I don't know if he's with us this morning yet. Young Michael came in. He collected his super chat badge. He didn't want to be on the telly, on the video stream, so he got it privately. I gave it to him privately. Pardon? Sorry, Mildred. I gave it to him privately. He's got his super chat badge there. We had a great singer turned up last night, Simba. She was you would have, if you were watching the karaoke stream last night. And you can watch that on one of my other channels, okay? If you're on my main channel, then just go in the bottom right-hand corner. You'll see Karaoke London. That's where you'll see the karaoke streams, and you can watch last night's one there as well, if you want, as long as the copyright people haven't taken it off, which does happen sometimes, unfortunately. But we had a great singer called Simba. She's a lovely girl. I haven't seen her for ages, actually, ages. And I have to say, I was walking around. There was a crowd of people. Oh, and that stink of those dodgy cigarettes. I can't bear the smell. Marijuana smell. You know that? Oh, it's awful. It was really strong. Someone had obviously gone outside, perhaps in a dark corner somewhere, and smoked one of those dodgy cigarettes, and they would oh, it was horrible. And funnily enough, there's a story in the paper, in the Daily Mirror this morning. It says, doctors, and this is awful, doctors found a marijuana-filled rubber, but do you say the J? Marijuana. No, you must do, mustn't you? Doctors found a marijuana-filled rubber balloon up an ex-prisoner's nose 18 years after he put it there. I mean, how can you forget something's up your nose like that? It's just awful. In the unique case, the unidentified inmate had smuggled the cannabis past prison guards by inserting it into his nostril. He must have had a bloody big nose. I mean, look at mine. Imagine what I could carry through here. I'm off to another country soon. Maybe I should shove something up there. The 48-year-old was reportedly given the drug by his girlfriend during a visit, but had thought he'd accidentally swallowed it. This is in the Daily Mirror. Not realising the package was stuck deep inside his nose for years, a mass developed, which led to him having headaches. Yeah. Do you get headaches? Well, maybe something happened in the past while you was asleep. Maybe someone shoved something up there. Very frightening. That sort of thing used to happen in chariots. Years later, medics in Australia did a CT scan of his brain, and that's when the discovery was made. It says, we described the unique case of a rhinolith, I think it said, that developed from a marijuana-filled balloon that the patient attempted to smuggle into a correction facility. After inserting the package into his nostril, I've never heard of this before. I mean, I've heard it inserted into other orifices. I've heard that before, but never a nose. After inserting the package into his nostril, the patient then mistakenly believed it had been accidentally swallowed. How would you swallow it? Oh, yeah, it's all connected, isn't it? Yeah, it's all. Yeah, you could swallow it, I suppose. I've had a camera up the nose. Not a nice experience. Not, to be honest, not as bad once you've had it. I've actually had that. I've had that 3 times, actually. 3 times I've had that. And by the 3rd time, you kind of know what's going to happen, and it's not as bad as you think. It's uncomfortable. Not painful. It's uncomfortable. And the worst thing about having a camera up the nose is they spray the back of your throat with this, not antiseptic, anaesthetic stuff, right? So then they push this thing up, you know, and you can't really. You can certainly feel it, but not painful. It's more uncomfortable than anything else, and you can feel this thing going up like a bit like that. It is, right, and then they look around. I think that thing's up your nose for about a minute, maybe 2 minutes at the most. You know, really, that's all it is. And then they take it out. But the worst bit is afterwards, because the anaesthetic makes you feel that you can't swallow. I have actually got a video of this happening on my YouTube channel somewhere. I can't remember where it is. If Adam the Plumber's with us today, he's very good at finding old videos like that. So he may be able to point you in the right direction to where that is. But yes, the worst thing, so for about, and again, not an immense amount of time, for about half an hour after that, you're like, oh, I can't swallow. And then you think you can't, you're like that all the time. And it's awful. Now, the resolution for that is to very, very, very carefully drink very small amounts of water. Literally like this. Being very careful that it doesn't go down your windpipe. That's why you must only have a small part. Because if a small part goes down your windpipe, it's not too bad. You can probably cough that back up. You don't want a load of water going down into your lungs. And that will sort of, the anaesthetic, it kind of lessens it. You start swallowing the anaesthetic, basically. You're washing it away from whatever it sprayed it onto. So that kind of works, but that's not pleasant. That was the worst part of it for me. Feeling that I couldn't swallow afterwards. Back to the story. It says, despite experiencing persistent... Oh dear. I've got a creaky chair. Despite experiencing persistent systems of nasal obstruction and recurrent sinonasal infections... That's very trying words this morning. The marijuana package was only discovered 18 years after insertion, following imaging for an unrelated indication. So there we are. Medics, let's have the mass that built up in his nose was diagnosed as a marijuana-based rhinolith, a mass formed around the foreign object. Well, we can see that. When you get a splinter, I don't know if you've ever noticed you get a splinter in your finger. If you leave it, stuff starts growing around it. Have you noticed that before? And it literally pushes the splinter out. It's very clever, really, what the body can do, isn't it? His headaches, as well as a long history of getting a blocked nose and sinus infections, are symptoms of rhinoliths, it says here. I think that's the word. Medics removed the rubber capsule from the man's nose, and his symptoms eased 3 months later, the Daily Mail reports. So, if you've got a stuffed up nose or anything like that, maybe something shoved something up your nose when you was asleep. I don't know. Let's just read some of your messages. A very good morning to Diane Jebb. Hello, Diane. Tommy Flynn in the house. Good morning, Adrian Richardson. Jason Hughes. Michael Pullman. There's Michael. Sent your thing off yesterday, Michael. Mark Bowles has just bought the new Wallace and Gromit 50p piece. Mark collects coins and stamps and things like that. Good morning, Mark. Morning, Tony King. Fran Green. Good morning, Sam458. Mikey Mike. Michael Lawrence. There he is. He's got his new... I hope you're wearing your Super Chat badge. Do you know what? I went over to Michael. He didn't want to be on the camera, which is understandable. I took his Super Chat badge over to him and pinned it on, right? And then when I left, he like took it off and put it in his pocket like it was an embarrassment to wear. How rude! How rude! Anyway, he's got his Super Chat badge. You can get a Super Chat badge. All you got to do is send a Super Chat, gang, and I automatically send you out a Super Chat badge, all right? Jason said the karaoke was good last night. And there goes Simba was excellent. She had a lovely voice, Simba. Very quiet girl. Morning to Martin. Martin's in the house this morning. Morning, Martin Butler. Yes, Fran also saying that she was really good, that girl, last night. Sorry, I'm sorry if I'm a little bit rude sometimes on that microphone. Yeah, it's a live situation, a bit different when you're in a live situation, and I can't. It's difficult unless I don't do it. And some of it's funny. Well, it is in there anyway. It might not come across as so funny on the screen. Of course, unfortunately, Toby turned up last night, which disappointed me. I tell you that. I had heard that he'd gone on holiday. Possibly. I've heard that they're now. Isn't there something going on with that Virgin Galactic thing? That spaceship. I don't think it's ready to go yet, but I think they've opened a thing where you can invest in it. And they've already sold loads of tickets. Justin Bieber's going up there, apparently. Justin Bieber's going up there. That bloke from Amazon, who owns Amazon. Richard Branson, of course. Who's the other one? Another really rich person. Elon Musk. He's going on one of those flights. And I'm thinking, if we all sent enough Super Chats in, we could send Toby in there. One way. Does it actually stop on the moon? Can he get off at the moon? Maybe there's a shopping centre on the moon now. You know, you can get on this galactic. I think it's about £180,000 per person, which is slightly more expensive than a business class flight on BA to Australia, I must say, but probably worth it. You know, does it? Is it like? Does it go up, right? And it stopped on the moon, and unbeknown to the rest of us, they've built some sort of small shopping centre on the moon, and you can go around, do your shopping, you know, get a few bits and pieces, perhaps a Primark at one end and a Ralph Lauren at the other end, and anything in between. Might be little Marks and Spencers up there, be quite nice. Troll about in there for a while, then get back on your Virgin Galactic plane and come back to Earth, all in the space of a few minutes. I wonder how long you're actually up there. I mean, £180,000. God, buy a blooming house for that, can't you? It's a lot of money for a flight. But of course, if money is no object, then I suppose that's something you could do. Would I want to do it? I don't know, really. I think it's a bit early to be doing things like that. You know, it would worry me that something's going to explode. You remember that terrible, years ago, of course, when people went up in the rocket and the bloody thing exploded. Dead. That's it. I mean, literally in the air. Awful. I suppose they would have been... Don't want to be too macabre about it all, but those people in that, when it exploded, it all come down, they would have been blown to pieces, those people, wouldn't they? Mind you, I suppose instant. You know, would you rather that or have some terrible disease that went on for years and years, you know? So, yeah, I don't think I'd go on it yet. Not yet. Good morning to Ray Reynolds, who picked up his gift of yellow tulips. We didn't quite get to the tulips from Amsterdam. When it's spring again, I'll bring to you... Not spring now, not for months, dear. We are entering into the coldness of winter. We certainly are. Yeah, Martin's not too well at the moment. I think he's picked up my sister's chest infection, unfortunately. Which is a bit of a... I think it's quite dangerous for me to go round there. I should have to get one of those masks or something. I said hello to Ray, didn't I? Yes, of course I did. He did, what's that? Marijuana and Mallorca, not Mallorca. I've never been to Mallorca. That's popular with British people, isn't it? Mallorca. Is it Mallorca? And what's the other place? Torremolinos. Always saw Pontins, Torremolinos advertised in the 1970s. Because Pontins had some holiday camps abroad, didn't they? We didn't go on any of those. We just did the Pontins here in the UK. Good morning to Fun Things to Do with Tech. Good morning. Hello to John Aitken. Morning, John. Nice to see you, John. I had intended the show to go on Facebook as well this morning, but for some reason it just didn't go on there. I'm kind of the opinion now that we haven't been on there for 2 days to just do it now and come off the Facebook. I think I'm going to do that as from now. It saves a lot of hassle at my end, to be honest, with everyone in the same place. So I think we're going to do that from now. Hello to Colin K. Good morning, Colin. Hello, Shania. Hello, I know, Shania. No need to tell me. I know already. Of course I do preparation. I expect your dad, when he does his show on Vectis Radio, I expect he's in the studio 2 or 3 hours before the show, writing down all his links like he's been taught to. Is he? Really? I can't believe that for one moment. Does your dad do his preparation? I'm interested now, Shania. Okay, what does your dad do for preparation for his show? If he was working in and Vectis Radio is, of course, this is someone who watches us. He's not with us this morning. More of as a hobby, Vectis, which is Shania's dad, he does a show on Isle of Wight, Vectis Radio. It's called Vectis Radio on the Isle of Wight. That's why he's called himself Vectis Humphrey, because he's on Vectis Radio. And he does a show on, it's either Saturday or Sunday, I can't remember which. And there's a lot of talk. It's not dissimilar to this. It's friendly. It's more family orientated, I would say, than this one possibly. But it's homely. It's homely to listen to it. And he does a lot of chat. And I just think he probably does exactly the same as me and doesn't have a script at all. Right? All I've got in front of me are some one-liners here. That's all I've got, right? That is the show, okay? And over on this computer here, there's a load of news stories, right? If he was on a proper radio station, What you're supposed to do is you got the record, so you might write down track 1, okay, track 1, and then what they call is your link. Now the link is the talking bit between one record and they don't call them records anymore, songs. The link is the bit between one song and the other song. So when you sometimes hear these people on the telly, and I wish they wouldn't do it, because people who don't know anything about radio haven't got a clue what they're talking about, and they're like, oh yeah, well I did this link yesterday, and you think, well, what do they mean by that? That they mean by that the bit of talk they do between one song and the other, right? Well, if you was on a proper radio station, like a commercial thing, they now tell you basically what to say. You've got to say the station name, okay? Some of these places, the station name first. You're listening to Heart, a better music mix. Coming up is da-da-da-da, and that's all they say. And you're supposed to write a lot of this down. Or at least I was taught when I was at Liberty Radio in London. They weren't too bothered about me because I was on overnight, you see. They're not really interested in the people overnight. We're just left to get on with it. But I was told, if you're going to, before you say something, write down the last line of what you're going to say so you know how you're going to come out of it. Well, I never bothered. I just turned on the mic and started chatting. Perhaps that's why I never ended up on the radio, dear. But if you ever get a chance to listen to Vectis on Vectis Radio, have a look on the website, Vectis Radio. Just type it in, Vectis Radio RLY, and it'll come up. Look for Vectis Humphrey Show and have a listen to it. It's very, very warm. Very, very warm and entertaining. But my guess is he does it the same as me and just writes down little bits and pieces like that without any script and just switches on the mic and gets on with it. Christ's sake. That's the way to do it. Adrian, you find it difficult in sorting things out the first time. Things like what? It's Michael Lawrence. It was for someone's birthday. Oh, is it your brother's birthday today, Michael? Okay. It was that today or another day? That's right. Adrian, the worst part for me when I had a camera in my nose and my throat was the bill that I had to pay for it. Why did you have to pay for that? Oh, I got mine done for nothing. Didn't cost me anything. Doctor just sent us down there and got on with it, kind of thing, Have you heard that the 50p Brexit coins are going to be melted down? Yes, I saw that. I was going to do that story this morning. I thought that might be of sort of limited interest. Thank you, Ben. Ben's just sent us £1.99. Thank you, Ben. Very kind of you to send a super chat. If you email me your postal address, I will send you a super chat badge, Ben. Okay? That'll come to the post. Can't send it till Saturday because I haven't got any up here. All right? But you'll get that next week. So send me your postal address to that email address and I'll get one off to you. A little super chat badge. Thank you very much, Ben, for that. Very kind of you. Yeah, I saw the 50... They've made some 50p Brexit coins for the 1st of November. Of course, it's not happening now. Not going to happen now. Okay, so apparently they're now melting them all down. Well, how much does that cost? How much does that all cost? I'm still hopeful that old Boris has got something... Oh, we don't want to do Brexit, do we? No, we don't want to do Brexit. Everyone will start rowing and all that. But I just thought I'll change that from hopeful to a statement rather than an intention, okay? I just thought that Boris has still got something up his sleeve. And something might happen. That's what I think. I might be completely wrong. Or nothing might happen at all. We just don't know what's going to happen. Apparently there's going to be a vote on the general election today or something, isn't it? What time is that on? Oh my God, blimey. There goes the RAF. John's got the sniffles from having the flu jab last week. Oh, I'm sorry. Is it really? Well, I mean, I've got a little story here for you actually this morning. How to stop a cold in the winter. In the Daily Mail. I'll just come to that in a moment. Fun things to do with tech. On my mobile, you look out a sink. Oh, how strange. That does happen to people sometimes. I don't know why. Oh, I haven't got my ching ching jingle. Oh, keep forgetting that. I've got it on a stick up at home and it's all ready to bring up here and I've forgotten it again. Sorry, no super chat jingle this week. I'm sorry. Please accept my supreme apologies to you all. No super chat jingle here at all. Sorry about that, gang. Yes, sometimes that does happen. People report that we've gone out of sync on one or more of their various gadgets. I think the way to do that is to actually switch it off and switch it on again. Certainly, if you refresh if it goes on the computer, refresh your page and it pulls it back in. If a lot of people it was out of sync, then I'd know it was my end, but no one else has reported that. So I assume it's a little problem at your end, all right, my darling. Good. Ben, it wouldn't let me send £2 on the app. Don't spend it all at once. You probably haven't got £2 in there, Ben. That's what I like to hear. People sending me their last little bit of money. Mikey Mike, 50p Brexit coins are being melted down to make the euro coins. No, I don't think so, Mikey Mike. No, I don't think that's going to happen. Right, John. Next time you get a cold, and anyone else, how you can stop a cold within hours of catching it, it says it. In the Daily Mail, one day you're feeling fine, the next your nose is running. Colds can come on so quickly. I told you about the time I caught the flu at work, didn't I? You know, I'd gone in there completely normal. Okay, it was nothing wrong with me. About 11 o'clock, I suddenly got really cold, and I said, "Is there a door open in here?" And then my legs started aching. I thought, why are my legs aching? Maybe I've been standing up and I'm sitting on this stool, and they were really aching badly. I thought, God, these are hurting. And then I went down, and within the space of 10 minutes, I went from really completely normal to very ill. Very ill. God knows how I managed home. Don't know how I managed home on that particular night. Awful. Anyway, in the Mail, one day you're feeling fine, the next your nose is running, you're sneezing, and your throat feels like you swallowed broken glass. An excellent song by Blondie, incidentally. Do you like Blondie? I bet you like Blondie, don't you, John? Are you a Blondie fan? Welcome to the annual cold season. Most of us will get between 1 and 3 colds each year, usually in the autumn and winter, caused by one of more than 200 different cold viruses. And it says there's little you can do about it. A cure for the common cold remains one of the holy grails of medicine. Well, I don't know about that. I mean, how many people die from the common cold? Not many, I would imagine, would you? Wouldn't you rather they spent the money on, I don't know, heart attacks or, cancer, things like that? Anyway, it says, what we do know for sure, and this was actually on the BBC News this morning, what we do know for sure is that the first 24 hours of having a cold are crucial. This is when the infection takes hold and starts to multiply, causing symptoms. Oh, let me feel. I don't feel that there's anything multiplying inside me at the moment. Disappointingly, to be honest, disappointing. Here with the help of 3 leading experts, we explain what's going on during the first 24 hours. It says the first minutes. Catching a cold, this is in the Daily Mail, catching a cold is a combination of factors coming together. Not only do you need to come into contact with the virus, now, washing hands. They're always telling us to wash hands. While I'm at work, okay, I don't mind telling you, at least 3 times during the space of my time at work, I will come down to the bar, go beyond the bar and wash my hands. Every night I'm there, I wash my hands 3 times. It says, for example, from a sneeze or a bug, not only do you need to come in contact with a virus, for example, from a sneeze or a bug your child picked up and children. Absolutely bubbling messes of bacteria, children. All children should be placed in sealed plastic bags until they are adults. I'm sorry. The germs are pouring out of them, dear. Don't touch one. If you see a child anywhere, even your own, do not go near them. They must be put in a room on their own, in plastic bags, so the viruses and bacteria cannot escape. From a sneeze or a bug your child picked up at school, but the virus must also overcome your body's own defences. A single sneeze, here we are, this will frighten you. And people are disgusting when they sneeze, aren't they? You've been and there's been no hand. Okay, a hand is probably not very effective, but at least try and do something. You know, tissues. That's what we need, dear. I've got to get some tissues. Can I just write that down? Tissues. When I go to swimming later, I must get some tissues. I've got no tissues here at all. I'm on toilet paper now. All those tissues that I used to nick from the gym, they're all gone. I had a whole drawer full of them, dear. Used them all. God, the snot's been pouring out. This will make you feel sick. A sneeze contains hundreds of millions of virus particles known as... What are they known as? Anyone know what they're known as? But you don't know. You don't know, do you? Well, I didn't know before I read this. A sneeze contains hundreds of millions of virus particles known as virions. There's a good word. Try and shove that into a sentence today in front of your friends. Impress them. Virions. V-I-R-I-O-N-S. Virions. Each of which can trigger a cold. I have pills every morning. And I can tell you these are antiviral pills. I don't know if they help with other viruses other than the ones that they're sort of claimed to they're supposed to stop multiplying. I wonder if they, because I'm taking those, I get less colds. Because I don't have many colds at all. I wonder if it's like a general, like lots of different viruses that those. But I must ask my doctor actually. Is it just specifically for that one, or is it other ones as well? I don't know. Depending on how far you're away from the sneeze, you already feel ill. Okay, depending on how far away from the sneeze you are, you may breathe in 10,000 virus particles. What are they called again? Remember? Virons. Virons. Yes, virons. 10,000 virons, but only a few hundred will land on the exposed epithelial cells of the nose, upper throat and upper airway. These virus cells have evolved to invade the epithelial cells if they get the chance, says this professor. The invading virus's first hurdle is to run the gauntlet of the cilia. I know what they are. They're the little hairs, aren't they? And they're moving all the time. Little hairs protecting us against evilness. They are. Don't you wish you hadn't pulled all those hairs out of your nose years ago now? Ah, that's why you're still getting cold. No hairs left up your nose. Not supposed to do that. I saw Barry Manilow's hairs in his nose. I did. I was sitting so close to the stage I could actually see hairs coming out of his nose. Anyway, the invading virus's first hurdle is to run the gauntlet of the cilia, tiny hair-like cells dotted throughout the nasal cavity that move in rhythm. Walking in rhythm, this is the rhythm of the night. They move in rhythm to sweep the mucus. Who writes this stuff? This is great, isn't it? What a great story. So much more interesting than Brexit. Which, incidentally, Brexit, I'm very pleased to announce, the Brexit TV show has been recommissioned for another 3 months. Another 3 months of entertainment. Fantastic. Old Jezebel and Boris shouting and screaming, and that very, very strange woman from the Liberal Democrat Party. What planet is she on, dear? God's sake. She was on the radio last night, that woman from the Lib Dems, saying, "We are ready to form a government." Are you for real, love? Are you for real? Anyway, why do they bother, dear? Anyway, carrying on. Where did we get to? Moving in a rhythm to sweep mucus, and I've got to read this again. I love it. I love this sentence. Let's read this sentence together again. I love it. The invading virus's first hurdle is to run the gauntlet of the cilia, tiny hair-like cells dotted throughout the nasal cavity that move in rhythm to sweep the mucus and viruses down the throat and swallowed. No, stop that. And swallowed out of harm's way. Yeah, gone straight down. No virus invaded me, thank you very much. Many millions of virus particles are also trapped in saliva and swallowed away. Even those viruses that do not reach the upper respiratory tract, the nose, mouth, throat and voice box, face another insurmountable obstacle. The epithelial cells that line these airways are so tightly bonded together, like you and me, tightly bonded together. They are so tightly bonded together, they usually provide an impermeable seal which keeps infections at Bay. Oh, it's so wonderful. It's the cilia that are doing it for me. The little cilia. Sweeping away the mucus. These cells have also sensors on their surface that detect the presence of hostile viruses and rapidly send messages to the cell to produce cytokines, which are chemical messengers that call in help from white blood cells and can also destroy the viruses themselves, says the professor. How blooming marvellous this is. I'll come to your messages in a second, boys and girls. These stimulate the movement of virus-killing immune cells to sites of infection. However, when we are overtired, stressed, or our immune systems are weaker than normal, cold viruses can get a foothold as these systems slow. So now it's going to say what to do, right? I'll come to that in a moment. Good morning to George Bonds. Good morning, George. Welcome to the show. John says there's a lot of germs around. John's a big Blondie fan. I sold Debbie Harry whips. Pardon? Whips, dear? What on earth are you into? We need some whips out here for correction of people. People are very naughty on this channel sometimes. They need whipping. You know the ones I'm talking about. Morning to Adam the plumber. Oh, he's got a cold as well. And the loose tooth. I told you what to do about that loose tooth yesterday, Adam. Tie a bit of string and get your other half to slam a door. And make sure you send in a video of that, please. We want to laugh as the tooth is ripped out of your head and goes flying through the window and ends up in someone's bowl of tomato soup. Ben is off to see Judge Rinder next week in the audience. Oh, fantastic, Ben. That's great. I think he's really good, Judge Rinder. And I bet he's a highly, highly intelligent person, that is. You can tell. If I was... I mean, I don't, he doesn't do the whole barrister thing, does he? But, I mean, if he was a barrister, I'd want him to fight whatever I was wanting to be fought. I think I'd want him to. But he's a judge, isn't he? I think he's very fair. I think he's a very fair judge as well on the telly. Good morning to High Grade Gaming. Good morning to you. No claps. No clapping. No clapping, Fran. Not allowed to do that anymore. I mean, it just looks stupid. I want to look stupid as well. Oh, let's do judge hands. I mean, how stupid does that look? Oh, dear. Of the kids of today, Fran. They don't know how well lucky they've got it. High Grade Gaming won't be able to watch until the end. Could you make me a raffle ticket in my absence? No, you can't ask yet, because I'll forget, and then you'll get upset because you haven't got one. You can only ask for a raffle ticket when I say raffle tickets now, I'm afraid. All right, sorry about that. Tony, you cannot get the flu from the flu jab because there are no active viruses. Yes, agreed with that, Tony. Agreed with that. What they say is that if you do get the flu... Oh, actually, it's time for my pills, isn't it? If you do get the flu, after the flu jab, what they say is that you must have had it before the jab. Don't they? That's what they say. If you get the flu just after you've had the flu jab, they say you must have had something before you actually had the jab. I've had that happen once. And I've had the flu jab every year for 15 years. Sometimes no side effects whatsoever. Sometimes a little bit of an aching arm. The more common one I've had 3 times is that about 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. About 8 to 10 hours after the flu jab, I'm like, oh, I don't want to do anything. Oh, God. And that carries on for about, I would say, 24 hours, and then it just goes. Then you go to bed at night, you wake up, it's gone. So that's what I've had 3 times on a flu jab. I've had a sore arm once, and then I had the flu quite badly, actually, once. Oh, I'll never forget that. That was just awful. Delirious, couldn't do anything, sweating in bed. Dreadful. I think I've had that 2 or 3 times, really. 2 or 3 times the flu. But not after the flu jab, you know, not after the flu jab. Good morning to Matthew Van. Morning to you, Matthew. Welcome to our show, sir. Morning, young Matthew. So here we go. What can you do? It says here, and this is what I said to you early on, wash your hands using soap and water at regular intervals. Avoid rubbing your eyes with your hands as this can transmit infection, all right? You'll see me do that sometimes. What I'm doing there is sniffing, but I turn the sound off so you can't hear it because it's not a very pleasant sound. Okay, apologies. Sometimes I get that sometimes. All right, within 1 to 2 hours, it says, by now the first symptoms, which are nasal dryness and irritation. Are you feeling very irritated this morning? Who's feeling irritated? Are you feeling irritated? Nasal dryness and irritation may be developing as the epithelial layer starts to break down. Cold viruses disrupt and weaken the impermeable barrier by producing chemicals to open up the tight junctions between the epithelial cells, allowing viruses to penetrate. Who's been penetrated recently? Allowing viruses to penetrate the deeper within the airways, says the professor. When they settle, where they settle depends on the type of virus that has infected you. Some viruses prefer the warmer environment of the upper lungs, where it is 37 degrees centigrade. Did you even know that? No, me neither. Oh, that's hot. 37 degrees? Oh, that would be a pain to be out in that. That's just too hot. I must ask my body to turn my lungs down. I'm feeling very warm. Oh, I feel very hot now. Oh, that's really. I'm going to have to take my coat off. Are your lungs feeling 37 degrees this morning? They weren't when I got out of the car and walked to the caravan. Mind you, it's like I literally 10 steps from getting out of my car to walking into the caravan door. You know, I have to say, the situation of my caravan door is when it's really raining heavy. It comes straight towards that door, and the wind just drags the door out of you. Good morning to Roy Brownlow. Let me just take a note of that. That's one comment from Roy so far. You're allowed 3 comments. After that, I'm not reading any of them out, DJRS. So think before you type, dear. Because it just becomes boring. It's a shame it's not a phone call. You're very interesting on the phone. But the constant on and on of pointing out my errors and upsets, dear. It's just not very entertaining, lovey. So you're now allowed, for a week, you're only allowed 3 comments per show. Or, if you want to make more comments than that, it'll be a £1.99 super chat per comment. Be careful. Remember, if you answer, that counts as a comment, okay? You're allowed 3 free comments. This is only for Roy Brownlow, DJRS presenter. What is it? Productions. He's only allowed 3 comments per show right the way through until next Monday. Right? If he wants to comment more than that, it's £1.99 per comment for the next 7. And then it's £5 per comment after that. So comment as much as you want, Roy. But I won't read them out. No, he hasn't commented yet. We'll go back to this story in a second. Let's just catch up on some of the messages coming through there. Poor John's been knackered all week since the flu jab. Oh, sounds to me like you had something else there, to be honest. Fran's had the flu jab for 7 years now and not got the flu since. Oh, it's very good, Fran. Highly recommend. If it goes for older people. Is it over? I don't know what the age is. There's a certain age. It might be over 65. For over 65 people, and for people that might have something wrong that are kind of related to flu, could make it much worse, such as asthma, for example. That's one of the things, I think, if you've got asthma. I have very mild asthma. It's not too bad. But I get it because of the other thing. Morning to Sean Pye. Good morning, Sean. Is late. Was on the job. That's far more interesting. Oh, please, Sean. We don't want to know that. Send a video through, because otherwise we don't believe you, mate. Not at your age. You know. Send pics or it didn't happen. There's my sister. Good morning, Sharon. Morning, sister. Shazby is my sister. I think she's getting a little bit better. Unfortunately, Martin, her husband, has now picked up a blooming chest infection, which is really bad news, but there we are. Awful, just have to stay in bed. Good morning to Joey Millen, joining us there. Jason, my missus has deep penetration the other night. She was walking funny. Jason, what is wrong with you all this morning? This is a family programme. We got Catholics watching this programme, you know, on the Isle of Wight. Please, a bit of decorum this morning. Thank you. My sister's asking you to do thumbs up because that moves you up on the YouTube thing. So please click your thumbs up thing there. John says my immune system is all over the place right now. Do you take the same pills as me, John, or not? As a matter of interest, it's up to you. You don't have to tell me that. Hello to there's my nephew Gary Butler. Playtime with Evie and Harry is my nephew, but Gary Butler. And my sister, his mother, is round there at the moment, and she's probably sat down for a couple of minutes to speak. But he's she does a bit of cleaning for my nephew, and in his house and that. But he's I don't know if I'd like to work for my nephew. He's a bit hard, you know. She's not allowed tea breaks or anything. It's just to fill in a form before she goes and has a wee. It's terrible, terrible. Right, back to this story. It says. What you can do about the first symptoms, it says some over-the-counter remedies may help your body stop the cold in its tracks at this early stage, according to studies. So, maybe you want to get something like this for the cupboard. Vicks First Defence claims to reduce the chance of a full blown-up cold by 50% if taken at the first sign of symptoms, and can cut the severity of those symptoms by 40%. The viscous gel, here's another great word, viscous. We like that word, viscous. Do you like that word? The viscous gel works by trapping the virus and helping the body remove it. Professor Eccles says the concept is interesting and worth a try. The evidence for its effectiveness is not black and white, but it is supportive. So that's what you would do. Okay, as soon as you think you've got a cold, what is it called? Vicks. What's it called again? Vicks. Vicks First Defence. Might be an idea to just have something in the cupboard like that. I don't know what it is. Is it a spray or I don't know what that is. It's got to be a spray, isn't it? That you spray up your nose, I would imagine. Okay, so that's the first 2 hours there. 2 to 9 hours after the cold takes hold. Okay, and you know when you've got it. You know you say, oh, my head. You know something's going on, don't you? As soon as it happens, right? 2 to 9 hours, those viruses have now managed to overcome the body's natural defences, and they start to infiltrate the epithelial cells and replicate. The speed of replication is astonishing, said the professor. One infected cell becomes a factory for the viruses and can make millions of viruses within 10 hours. You may also feel tired. Oh, excuse me. Air came up then. Did you hear it? It's better than coming out the other end, aren't it, sis? One infected cell becomes a factory for the viruses and can make millions of viruses within 10 hours. You may also feel tired. Oh, that's that one, isn't it? Oh, God. As your body gears up to fight infection. So rest is a good idea. Now that would kind of relate to the tiredness, I think, that sometimes you get when you've had the flu jab. Okay? It is a dead virus they put in you. But the idea is to bang the immune system into action, isn't it? So whether or not the virus is dead or not, your body would think that you have a live virus, I suppose, and therefore you would gear up to fight infection, and so will feel tired. So it says rest is a good idea, which indeed is what I do. I just go to bed. Seriously, I just go to... If I'm like, oh, God, I'm just going to go to bed. I just go to bed. One of the things I have with my little condition thing, I get a bit of fatigue now and again. I literally just go to bed. That's it. You wake up and that's all right. After 10 hours, oh, you're in serious trouble now. After 10 hours, the virus infects more and more cells. The symptoms start to appear in earnest. As the virus invades nasal cells, these respond by producing chemicals, including histamine and leukotrienes, as part of the body's natural immune response. It's fighting. It's fighting. Within hours, these chemicals are irritating and inflaming the lining of the nose, triggering sneezing. Achoo! Achoo! Triggering sneezing in an attempt to dislodge the virus. The rest of the immune system also steps up defences. White blood cells, the body's guardians that can destroy invaders, start pouring in from around the body, and lymph nodes in the armpit and neck step up production of the white blood cells so they become swollen and painful to touch. What can you do about this, though? Applying a warm compress can provide relief. A clean flannel, not that dirty thing that you've got in your baths. When is the last time that was washed? Has anyone got a flannel anymore? I don't have a flannel anymore. A clean flannel dipped in hot water and wrung out will do. Or take a painkiller such as ibuprofen. So that's 10 hours. 11 hours. Oh dear. You're in serious trouble after 11 hours. Good morning, Mick Davenport. Morning, Mick. Welcome along. Welcome, Mick. Oh, Mick's got a new car. Have you? Excellent. Mick's got a new car. What have you got, Mick? That's interesting. Did you, hang on a minute. So you got a new car. Didn't you have to hand back your... Oh, is this something you've bought yourself? What have you got? We want to know what you've got. After 11 hours, cold viruses are now heavily established. Too late now. Can't do anything about it now. Should have taken it. You see, you leave it. Oh, I'll take that pill later on. Ah, too late. Now you're dead. That's it. Do what the doctor says. Cold viruses are now heavily established in the deeper levels of the epithelial cells and are moving through the bloodstream, starting to interfere with the way the cells work and creating symptoms like muscle ache. In particular, they affect genes that control cells in the nose and upper airway, which produce and release mucus. I like that word as well. There's some great words today. Mucus. We like that word. Mucus. Causing overproduction as a way to ensure that they can spread through the airborne droplets, which is why people develop streaming noses and congestion in the sinuses. What can you do about this? Well, don't blow your nose too hard, it says here. Now, I'm a devil at that. I'm like this now. Apparently, that's really a bad thing to do, blowing your nose like that. Some people blow their noses in the swimming pool. Dirty people. Disgusting people. Don't blow your nose too hard, which can drive infection into the canal that connects the upper throat and the nasal cavity, leading to infection. Right, we carry on. After 12 hours, coughing starts. Coughing occurs when tiny nerve cells in the lining of the respiratory tract. Oh, fantastic words today. Respiratory tract. I should have been a doctor. Known as, here's another one, pulmonary irritant receptors. We're learning a lot today, aren't we? And this should be an educational programme shown to school children all over the world. Oh, at the same time, they could learn English from my perfect BBC English. Coughing occurs when tiny nerve cells in the lining of the respiratory tract, known as pulmonary irritant receptors, become sensitised by too much mucus. Oh, it's word after word. I'm in my element this morning. I'm loving these words. This is better than reading any novel. I must have a subscription to the Daily Mail favourite delivered here to my caravan, Lincolnshire Television Studio Complex. They have become sensitised by too much mucus. These send messages via the vagus nerve in the chest. Have you ever heard that? Never knew it existed. The vagus nerve to the chest of the brain, which in turn orders the diaphragm and intercostal muscles between the ribs to contract violently. Causing explosive coughing. Coughing has an actual important purpose, says the professor. It's your body's way of keeping unwanted stuff from getting into your lungs, as you well know when you've accidentally swallowed that pee when you've been out at a cheap restaurant. The force of coughing rapidly damages the fragile epithelial lining of the respiratory tract, causing it to slough off and exacerbates a sore throat. God! Blimey, how much longer is this bloody story? Oh, it goes on and on! How much more? Have you had enough of this yet, or shall I carry on? Tell me if you've had enough, or shall I carry on? Tell me. What you can do, don't blow your nose too hard. Oh, hang on, I've read that one. What you can do, a hot drink such as honey and lemon will provide immediate relief from a sore throat and cough, says the professor. Gargling salt water may help to ease symptoms of a sore throat by reducing inflammation. Okay? Mark's waiting for Popmaster. Have you had enough of this story yet? I can't believe you've had enough of this story. Who wants me to carry on? And who wants me to move on? Tell me. After 15 hours, as mucus builds, coughing and sneezing intensifies. Mucus is an irritant but also blocks the airways, so you have to cough to breathe. Oh, that's horrible, isn't it? Isn't that horrible? That's absolutely horrible. Claire says, thank you, Dr. Reardon. I shall go to Leatherhead later and buy some Vicks first response for the inevitable sore throat, which will come soon at the karaoke. Yes. Fran's had enough. Stop talking about germs. Okay, we've had enough of that then. All right, so if you want to have a look at that, that's in the Daily Mirror this morning. And a great story there. I really enjoyed reading that to you. Jason, can you start from the beginning again? Oh, okay. One day you're... They're bored with that story now, are you? Okie doke. Let's have a look there. Yeah. Oh, he's bought a Peugeot. A Peugeot. Oh, well, I hope you're pleased with that car. Well done, Mick. Yeah, at least you can still travel around. Oh, Roy Brownlow, a second message. Let me just write this down. What is he saying? Oh, it's okay for other comments. No stock favouritism, bullying it, reported to the church. Yeah, no, it's everyone else is fine. It's just you, Roy. It's just you. I'm singling you out for punishment. All right? There must be pain and suffering. There must be pain and suffering. And you have been singled out to be punished in front of everyone else. So that's 2 messages. You've got 1 left, which I suggest you hold on to, right? Because you will want a raffle ticket soon. When I say raffle ticket, because if you've already had your 3rd message, right, then I'll have to ignore that one. And then you'll have to apply by email with our other delightful email writers. Thank you. Is it raffle time yet? No, not yet. No, not yet. We've been pushed into it today. I feel I'm being pushed along here, Mark. Why don't I just come on, do the raffle tickets, and then go? Is that all right? Would you rather that? John's found his Halloween things for last year. Well, at least you won't need a mask, will you, John? Not anymore. I even bought a lot of sweets at the weekend for the trick-or-treaters or a pumpkin. Oh, no. I don't open the door. I turn all the lights off. Actually, they don't stop at my door. I throw the doors open and all these sweets are outside. These kids come running and their parents grab their hands. Not that one. There's a very strange man. No, come back here. They grab their hands and move on to the next house. That's all right. I'll have the sweets myself. I'm not bothered. No sweets. Incidentally, day 3 yesterday went quite well with the Slimming World thing. Very good last night. Okay, very good. No crisps, Claire, or anything else. Let's. Sean. No word of a lie. I saw it on TV months ago. Eating and picking your nose is good for you as it builds up. No. Oh, God. People who sit there picking away at their nose. You see it in cars a lot, don't you? You do see it in cars. People are sitting there, you know, they're in the traffic and they start picking and eating what comes out of their nose. How on earth can anyone do that? It's disgusting. It's disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. The bully is being... I'm not a bully. I'm not a bully. Michael Lawrence, I'm so glad you did not take the cake last night at the pub. Well done. Yeah, I took a cake in last night for... it was DJ Chris's birthday. And I took a cake and he had a lovely cake and them little brown things, square things. What are they called? Little brown... I don't know. They were about half an inch squares, something like that. I took a load of those in for DJ Chris. I didn't have one of them. Not a single one. So I'm quite pleased about that. Jason, the kids will have a fright when they go into Mick's Mower's house with the coffin he's made to hide in. Has he really? Oh, that's excellent. That's what you could do. You could put, you know what you could do? Because they would think, any children coming towards your house, they would think it's like a decoration. You could put the coffin outside, standing up, right? right? And then when the kids knock at the door, open the coffin and step out. Why should they have all the fun? Huh? And remember to have a camera rolling at the time so you can see the absolutely terrified look on their faces as you walk out that coffin. I love it. I love it. Right, one more story. One more story, and then we'll do the raffle. Okay. There it is. There it is. Australia story. Now, I've said to you before, Australia, Michael Pullman's here. He will tell you he's living there. It's his country. Very, very dangerous country to go to. Crocodiles and spiders and sharks. Danny Maggs, aged 22, suffered severe calf lacerations while Alistair Radden, 28, had his right foot bitten off, rescuers have said. Terrible. Two Brits, they're British boys, have been horrifically mauled by a shark in Australia, leaving one with his foot ripped off. He lost his foot. How do you recover from that? You imagine, like, I can't even imagine it. Like, you're in the water, and what happened? I mean, suddenly something's pulling at your foot. How do you get away? I suppose it bites it off, doesn't it? And then you can get away. But all the blood would be pouring out. The tourists were rescued after the terrifying attack of Queensland's popular Whitsunday coast on Tuesday morning, local time. Dreadful. A spokesman said they'd been wrestling. That's the person and the shark. They'd been wrestling and thrashing about in the water before. Oh, sorry, the two boys had been wrestling and thrashing about in the water before the attack at about 10:20 in the morning. The dual Whitsunday shark attacks occurred close to where numerous people have been bitten over the last year, including a bloke who died last year doing a yacht trip with pals. The British people had been swimming off Airlie Beach near Hook Passage, where at least one beast struck. Queensland Ambulance Service spokesman said a shark attacked Mr. Radden first before returning to bite Mr. Mag's leg. The two blooded men were plucked from the water by horrified tourists on a pleasure boat and taken back to the shore. Paramedics rushed them in an ambulance to meet up with the waiting rescue chopper, which flew them to hospital in the city of Mackay in serious but stable conditions. That's awful, isn't it? I think around Sydney, Michael perhaps will tell us, or anyone else who's from Australia, I think around Sydney, isn't there some sort of net that's out in the ocean to stop sharks coming in? Unfortunately, it also kills a lot of other sea creatures. But nevertheless, it's there. And I think that's supposed to stop sharks coming in. Perhaps they don't have the same thing in Queensland, which is kind of up the top there somewhere in it. I've been to Queens. I've been to Cairns in Australia. What a beautiful place that is. So hot. And great big bugs, beetles like that. Oh, frightening if you don't like bugs. Mick's just letting us know it's his birthday in a couple of days' time. Thank you, Mick. Don't forget to put your mask on, dear. Michael Lawrence would love to go to Australia one day. It's a lovely place, Michael. For a young person to go and start a life again, it's a good thing to do. Yeah, very good thing to do. Jason, he's got a video up of him making the coffin. Excellent. Check it out on Mick's Mowers channel. Thank you very much. There we are, Mick's Mowers. A video of him making a coffin. There you go, Michael. Yep, that story was on tonight's news. He's in Australia. Now they're putting drum lines up the coastline. What are drum lines? I don't know what they are. Tell us what drum lines are, Michael. You're telling us what they are. Popmaster. What is this Popmaster people keep going on about? On Radio 2? Are you off now then? Okay, bye. Go on. Go off to Radio 2 then, I don't care. I can't believe how many of you do this Popmaster thing on Radio 2. Could you not ring him up and ask him to start a bit later? Because I ain't finished yet. I haven't really finished yet. I've got so much more to say. And it's almost like you're not interested and you're only here for the raffle. Very hurtful, really. Fran's still there. Fran's not going to leave me. Are you, Fran? Claire's there. Claire's not going to leave me. It's just the boys. I think you've been quite homophobic this morning. Is that right? I'm offended. Oh, I found that really offensive. Oh dear. Perhaps there's a focus group, a left-wing focus group I can join now. People that leave my chat show before it's finished because they want to go and play Pop Master. Go on, off you go. Off you go to Radio 2 then. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Oh, Gary Davis is sitting in for Ken Bruce this week. I remember him when he started on BBC Radio London. I'm not going to rush, Fran. No, why should I rush for them? Thank you, Joey. Oh, Joey's going to stay. Mark says he's too loyal. I don't listen to it. Thought I'd just jump on the bandwagon. Fair enough. Fair enough. Raffle tickets. Who wants a raffle ticket? Speak now. Speak now. Who wants the raffle tickets? Number 686 goes to Ben Rolfe. Thank you, Ben. And thank you for your super chat today, Ben. Ben Rolfe. Colin K. Thank you, Colin. 687 for Colin. Roy Brownlow. 688. That's jumped up there. Tony King, 689. Diane Jebb, 690. John Aitken. Diane would always be there. I know she will. Diane Jebb. John Aitken, 691. Sean Pye, 692. Mikey Mike, 693. Mick Davenport, 694. Mick Davenport and the new car. Davenport. I'll have a look on your... have you put a picture up, Mick? I'll have a look at that. Mick Davenport, 6... what did I say? 694. 695 for Jason Hughes. Mark Bowles, 696. Fran Green. I think you're asking for one there. I think you might have hit the message retract button accidentally there, Fran, so I'll put one in for you. 697 for Fran. Don't forget, you must put ticket, please, otherwise I won't know you want one. Michael Lawrence, thank you. Michael Lawrence is 698. 699 for Martin Butler. And who's get ticket number 700 goes to... I always think that we should have a little jingo for when we get to 100. It goes to Jerry Millen. Number 700 for you, Jerry. Jerry sent a super chat as well last week. Have you got your badge yet, Jerry? I think it was you, wasn't it? Was it you who sent one that got a badge? Did you get your badge yet? Michael, the barrel thing that he was talking about there to stop sharks, it's a hook with bait and water. It's a hook with bait, and whatever takes the bait drowns and dies. Oh, that's a bit horrible, isn't it, towards sharks? Thank you to Adam the Plumber. £1.99 from Adam the Plumber. Why don't you do a Slimming World cook show? It might help you. Oh, well, I've done that before, haven't I? A little cook show. Yes. I have to do that in the kitchen at some point. Yeah, you're quite right. Thank you very much, Adam. £1.99 super chat. If you want another badge, you know what to do, Adam. Unless you're coming to the pub to collect it, let me know what you want to do there, darling. What was the last one we gave out there? 690. Oh, no, hang on. 700, wasn't it? 700 Joey. Who's after Joey? Let's have a look. Joey. Claire. 701 for Claire. No, oh, you just missed it, Claire. Just missed it. Michael Pullman. 702. Christopher Davis. Hello, Christopher. 703. Fran. Oh, done you, Fran. All right, my love. Done you, Fran. Adam the Plumber. Thank you, 704. There's my sister, Sharon Butler, 705. Not got it yet? Okay, Joey. I expect it to arrive tomorrow or even today. Is that it? Oh, we are. I think I've done all the tickets, gang. If you've been missed out, please speak now or forever hold thy tongue. Up to you. Just a reminder, gang, if you're watching a recording of the show, claim your ticket by email, chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. All right? A little bit later on, I think I'm seeing my nephew and his family today. I'm not sure yet. Sometimes the boy goes on this football thing and doesn't get back till later, a bit later, and the little girl goes, not gym, you know, a dancing thing. I think like a, what's that called now? Maybe like ballet, like a ballet type thing. I think she goes to that sometimes on the Tuesday nights, and then we move it to Wednesday. So I'm not sure if I'm seeing him tonight, but he's got some more fairy lights for me. Oh yes. I was coming down the road yesterday, I've got to be honest with you, and I looked right as I just got round the corners of the site. My entire caravan is lit up with fairy lights. It looks fabulous, dear. Absolutely fabulous. I'll do a photo. I'll do the other lights and I'll do another photo from just down the road. Oh my God, it looks absolutely fabulous. I'm very pleased with that. So I've got some more fairy lights to pick up from my nephew a little bit later. And I want to visit my younger nephew as well, actually. My younger nephew, remember I told you that he had decided to change his business. He fixes cars, not mechanically. He fixes the bodywork, you know. So if you've got a little dent or something, you know when you go get a dent, right, in the car, and you might go to Mercedes, Toyota, BMW, Ford to have it fixed. Oh yes, just that little scratch. How much is that? Well, we'll have to take the whole panel off there and respray it. It's going to be about £800. Like, for a scratch, you see. And he gets a lot of customers who have done that, and then they've looked him up, gone to him, and he's looked at it. He said, "Yeah, it's £200 for that." Yeah, that's what he does. And then he will, and it will look like new. You will not know there's been a scratch or a dent there. I had a dent on my last RAV4. I'm quite good at putting scratches and dents on cars, actually. Don't really bother me. It's just one of those things, you know. And I had a dent there, and I took it round to him. That was a silver car that I had then. And he starts off by bagging it. Hello, Shania. All right. All right, Shania. There you are. There's Shania. 711 for Shania. Okay. 711 for Shania. There we are. Shania. Shania still. 711, darling. You stay there, Shania. Don't you dare go away, my dear. Yeah, and he started bashing my... He said, right, I'll start work now. He gets his hammer out and starts bashing the door. And that little dent became much bigger suddenly. Hello to Mega Andy. Morning, Mega. All right. 712 for you, sir. 712 for you. There you go. 712 for Mega Andy. Anyway, so I kind of... I just had to go. I left the car there, and I think my sister picked me up and took me back to the caravan. And he had it for about 2 or 3 days. And then he brought it round. Well, it was all polished and all shiny. I never knew there'd ever been a dent there. Fantastic job he did. Anyway, he left his unit. He was going to go and do it mobile, but he changed his mind, and he's gone into another unit now, but it's much better. Because the unit he had, which was good, you know, because that's where he started, you know, that was his first little unit. And when the rental, when it comes to the end of the rental, what do you call it, the end of the contract, you know, the rental contract for the place, he decided that he was going to do mobile, but he didn't do mobile, and he found another unit. But it's much better. One of the problems he had at his unit was the bloke next door to him in that unit. He used up all the road to park blooming cars on. It's not fair. You know, and that's supposed to be from my nephew. That front bit is his. This other bloke was just bringing in other cars and parking them out the front there. Outrageous. Not only that, there was no heating. I mean, he had heating. But I don't mind telling you, my nephew's tight. He's as tight as anything. And he wouldn't buy gas. He wouldn't even flush the toilet every time he used it to save on the water. I'm serious. This is my younger nephew. Anyway, so he had some problems there with that sort of thing. But nevertheless, you know, he paid up his rent and off he went. And he's now got another unit and that's got heating in it. And the other thing is there's people in there as well in that same sort of apart, not exactly in his workshop, but close by. Because one of the other things that my nephew, I don't suppose he thought about it, and I certainly wouldn't have thought about it if I'd have done something like that, is that working on your own in a cold unit can be bloody lonely. I mean, really lonely. And I think he got a bit lonely in there as well. So he's in this new place now, and I haven't visited it yet. I keep meaning to go there and down and visit there. And as soon as I get a bit of time, I'll go either. I might go today, actually. I've got to go to B&Q today to get a couple of bits and pieces. Some insulation for the gas pipe around the corner. I've got gas bottles on the side, and when it gets really cold, the gas freezes. Literally. And I think it's freezing in the tube. And then the gas doesn't work. It's a very quick fix. You literally pour hot water over the pipe, and you hear it go as it releases it. It's it literally 10 seconds, and it starts working again. But I'd rather it didn't happen, because it's not pleasant going outside on a freezing cold water and having to put hot water onto a gas thing. It's not dangerous at all, but awful. Yes, I want to visit him in his new place, and it sounds like he's a lot happier there. He's got people to talk to, and they've got heating in there as well, and not this problem with people parking outside. I mean, how rude is that? You know, if you had a unit, you'd just use that bit out the front. You wouldn't start parking in front of someone else's unit. That's just blooming rude, that is. Very rude. So there we are. Let's have a look there. Let's just scroll up there. Thank you, Shania. Mega and I've done you and Omega. Yep, Mega and is there. Okay. John Aiken, I'm sure we can see your fairy lights from Mars, even brighter than the Blackpool illuminations. Funny enough, you mentioned Blackpool. My nephew went up there the other day. The younger nephew, Jimmy. He went up the other day. I think there was a football thing going on. I said, what was it like? He says it's worse than Skegness. It is an absolute dump, Blackpool. I don't know if anyone has anyone else been there. That's not me commenting. I don't know. I would go somewhere and tell you exactly what I thought about it. Take, for example, Mablethorpe. Okay? Fantastic beach. Lovely beach there. And they've all done it round the beach. Go into the town bit. What a dump. What an absolute dump Mablethorpe is. And you go down some of the roads off this, like, kind of high street thing. Oh, my God. Well, there's these gardens. I don't think the grass has ever been cut. And blankets up on the windows. Awful place. And it's got this car park, right? You park your car, and then this bloke comes around with a ticket machine, and that's £2. Well, actually, do you get? I don't think you even get a ticket. That all looks very dodgy to me. The car park next to the pub in Mablethorpe. My nephew parked up, and he's got a disabled ticket. No, sorry, it's still £2 or whatever it was. Oh, it's only £2, but a bit odd how that's run. Don't get a ticket. Can Dad have a ticket as he's driving? So can't ask. 713 for Vectis Humphrey this morning. 713. Where are we now? Round two of Popmaster. Mick Daver. Adam, be careful the RAF guys don't land on you with all those fairy lights. Oh, well, I'm hoping they do. I'm hoping they do. Fran, didn't he have a radio? Who had a radio? What we talking about radios there? I don't know what that is. Yes, Mick's praising Jimmy there. Just jumped forward there. Sorry. Jason says Jimmy seems a grafter, not like his dad. It's outrageous. Don't tell his dad. He won't be pleased with that, young Martin. He'll be watching this, you know. He'll come back to you with that one. Oh, you're likely to be struck off his viewer list. Mikey Mike, nothing wrong with not flushing each time. If it's yellow, let it mellow. If it's brown, flush it down. I hate that. Adam, where does Jimmy get the tightness from? Is it Chris? Possibly. Joe is 15 minutes away from Blackpool. I've never been, so I don't know. John's never been to Blackpool. I've been to Scarborough. Where are you going to? Scarborough Fair. Have you been to Whitby? That's nice. Oh, lovely place, Whitby. I'd live there. That is a nice place. A lot of old people, so I'd fit in there, I think. Can my dog have a ticket? Oh, yes, the Euro Millions night. 61 million. I must get one of those. I never do it. I never really do that. I never really do the Euro Millions or anything. I might just do that tonight. Oh, yes. Talking of Euro Millions. Now, what is it? Paul and Lou called it. On Thursday, we've got the Superdraw. We've got the Superdraw, gang. That's where all your tickets that you've sent in for the last month are in it. I managed to get it in without breaking it, which is a surprise because I heard a crash in the back of the car as I turned a corner a little bit too fast around two fields on the way here. But here we are. There's all the tickets there. Look, there's loads in there. There's absolutely loads in there. And on Thursday, we'll be pulling a ticket out of there, okay, for an extra. Oh, look, there's one stuck there. Who was that? Oh, it was one of Diane Jebb's there. That was stuck there. They're all the tickets from the last month in here, okay? So they're all in here, although not this week's ones, because then I won't be able to use those for this week, you see. So they're all the tickets in there from the last few weeks, and we'll be doing the super draw for an extra. It just gets so much more exciting, doesn't it? A super draw on Thursday morning. Okay, John, if you win, I would love a holiday Barbados. Thanks. What if I win the Super Millions? The what's it called? The Euro Millions. The Euro Millions. It's not an extra ticket for Diet. That's last week's ticket. That's something not last week's. Something this month. That's a different look. Two different things. Are you paying attention to the show, Mr. Mega Andy? Look, two things. Tickets for the whole month in here, except for these ones, which are for next week's. So that's for the last few weeks. We can't put those in there as well, because then I'll have to separate them all out again for Monday's draw, won't I? There we are. Oh, what's this? Do you know what this is? I'm just going to show you a little bit of this. This is the Halloween backdrop. Oh, yes. The Halloween backdrop. That'll be going up for Halloween as well. Okay. Sean, nothing wrong with Blackpool that a gallon of petrol and a match couldn't sort out. Is it that bad there? Oh, it does sound awful, doesn't it, that place? Right. I'd like to do one more story this morning, boys and girls. What about this one? Fancy this one in the Daily Mirror this morning. A woman who thought her boyfriend had died. It sounds like a plot straight out of an Agatha Christie novel. A woman is told her ex-boyfriend has died and grieves the loss, only to come across him a few years later, very much alive and working in a local restaurant. Hang on a minute. I've done something. What have I done wrong? I've done something wrong. Something to do with the raffle tickets. Something's just clicked in my head that I've done something that I shouldn't have done, and I must. Does anyone know what that was? As a matter of interest, what have I done wrong? Is it the fact that oh no, I've got an extra strip of raffle ticket? I've pulled those out and gone on to the next ones. Okay, I'll use those on the next. Have I done something wrong with these raffle tickets? Does anyone know what I've done wrong? Have a little thought there, would you? Have a little thought. It sounds like a plot straight out of an Agatha Christie novel. And whatever it is, you tell me what you think I've done wrong, because I'm not. I've done something wrong with the raffle tickets. I'm not quite sure what it is. Okay. It sounds like a plot straight out of an Agatha Christie novel. A woman is told her ex-boyfriend has died and grieves the loss, only to come across him a few years later, very much alive and working in a local restaurant. Shocking. This utterly unbelievable scenario is one that an Australian woman known only as Rachel is said to have found herself in. The young woman recently opened up about the bizarre situation she experienced with her former flame. Rachel was just 18 years old when she started dating a chef from the local pub. The relationship seemed like any teenage romance, and she described him as being really nice. However, things took a bit of a turn when her boyfriend, who cannot be named for legal reasons, lost his job and asked to borrow hundreds of dollars from her to live on. I mean, this is really stupid, right? Hang on a minute, let me just... This is in Australia. Didn't I say this was in Australia? One minute. Australian woman said to have found herself in. And then it starts talking about pounds. Well, it wouldn't be pounds, would it be? Do you know, I don't know who edits these papers now. Bring back Piers Morgan, for Christ's sake. He paid some of the money back. He asked to borrow hundreds of pounds from her to live on. He paid some of the money back, but when they broke up a few months later, she claims he refused to pay the rest and stopped replying to her messages. Things got stranger when his friends informed her that the furniture had started going missing from his house share. Furniture was gone, bed was gone, everything was gone, explains Rachel. The initial story was he'd gone to rehab in Queensland. She wasn't completely convinced by this, but before she had time to investigate, her ex's mum messaged her to say that her son had died. I mean, you wouldn't do that, would you? It sounds stupid in retrospect, but you don't have any reason to question. You wouldn't, would you? Someone rung up and says, oh, so-and-so has died. You wouldn't question it. Oh, have they really? I don't believe you. You know, you wouldn't, would you? But before she had time to investigate, I've read that bit. It sounds stupid in retrospect, but you don't have any question to question it. If I called you and told you my mum had died, you wouldn't give me a death certificate, would you? You'd just accept it. Rachel grieved the loss in her own way and eventually moved on. Then 2 years later, the whole story unravelled. While back in her hometown with a friend, she stopped by a restaurant where she was stunned to discover that her ex-boyfriend was very much alive and working there. I just went into shock. I'd be fuming. Wouldn't he be fuming? Before she could confront him about it, Rachel was asked to leave the restaurant. Unsure of the best course of action, she decided to talk to the police. However, they weren't able to help as they said it was her word against his. Later that same night, the ex's mother got in contact once again, this time to complain that Rachel had caused a scene at the restaurant and gotten her son fired. The whole saga left the poor woman reeling, and to this day, there's so much she doesn't understand about it. Well, it's easy to me. He didn't want to pay back the money. Isn't it? It's as easy, isn't it? He just didn't want to pay back the money. How awful. Would you pretend that you were dead? I think that's asking for trouble, really. Pretending that you're dead. You're asking other forces, unbeknown to us, to finish your life. I wouldn't do that. Pretend that you're dead. Dreadful. Mick's off now. Cheerio, Mick. Cheerio, Mick. Let's have a look there. Fran, it's Blackpool is only worth going for the illuminations. Is that right? Yeah, see, I've never been to Blackpool. Adam, the Halloween backdrop, does it have hundreds of pictures of you on it? How rude. How rude. Give me your email address. I'll send back your blooming super chat now. Very rude. Thank you, Adam. Did you put the tickets in the bowl? No, not yet. They're in front of me. I don't know. Maybe I haven't done anything wrong. Maybe not. Good morning to Amelia. She's been out cycling. Can you have a raffle ticket? Yes, indeed. 706. 706 for Amelia. Amelia. Thank you, Amelia. Miss Dodd. There you go. Joseph, do you remember Harpo's in Earl's Court? You used to DJ there. Yes. Yes, I did. Yeah, that was a good night. It was hard in there. They were a very critical audience in there, but we got through it, and it kind of worked, didn't it? Kind of worked. All right, let's do today's birthdays, boys and girls. Happy birthday on this Tuesday, the 29th of October, 2019 to the delightful, and she's here this morning, Miss Shania Steele. Good morning, Shania. Happy birthday, Shania. Big happy birthday to you, darling. Shady, JD, it's Jamie, 31 years old today. Good morning, Jamie. Happy birthday. Kate Doody. Good morning, Katie. Katie Doody. Happy birthday. 45 today. Benjamin Brown. Morning, Benjamin. He's with us sometimes. Happy birthday, Benjamin. Michael Nobby Farmer. Happy birthday to you. George Knight today is 26 years old. Morning, George. Simon Wilson today, 40 years old. SyEd Yelmin. Good morning, SyEd. Happy birthday. Kirstina Bond, 47 years old today. Look at all these wonderful people wishing people happy birthday. It's very kind of you. Did I do Kirstina? Kirstina Bond, 47 years old today. Curly Sultan. Good morning, Curly. Happy birthday to you. And Christopher Alan Scherf. I think you say it Scherf. Is that right? Scherf. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you, boys and girls. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you. Now, look at all these people wishing people happy birthday. Jason, Fran, Lorik, Diane, John, Amelia. It's so kind of you to wish happy birthday to other people like that. All right, gang, that's it for the show today. Thanks ever so much. I shall pop down to the swimming pool now. And I must go to B&Q as well and get some of that pipe, what's it called, pipe insulation stuff. I better look around and see the size of the pipe. You know that you just clip it round, that might make a difference, mightn't it? Have a lovely Tuesday, boys and girls. Hopefully I'll see you again at sometime tomorrow morning, around about the same time, perhaps a little bit earlier tomorrow. All right, we'll see how we do. Look after yourselves, and thanks very much for watching and listening. Cheerio now.